Hi, this is Aaron Wilson. I'm at KPRC2 Studios with Randy McElroy, the sports director.
We got the lighting, the graphic. We got you covered here, man.
This is big time. I love this backdrop. I just got back from the NFL Scouting Combine. We'll have a long conversation with that on Sports Sunday. Randy, we've been talking about the offseason needs and offensive line. It just, the more I think about it, that's where they've got to invest.
Well, it was the hot topic all season long. Every week it was questions directed towards D'Amico Ryans, towards C.J. Stroud, and they said all the right things, but down deep, it was an issue. C.J. Stroud took too many hits all season long. They've got to correct that, and they've got to do it in a big way if they're going to take that next step.
Yeah, there's a lineman I'd love to talk about. Alabama guard Tyler Booker, nasty streak, 6'5", 352, good athlete. He said that his goal is to make the opponent not love football anymore, make them tap out.
I love that approach.
This guy said it's legal assault out there. This is a quote machine. And I watched a lot of tape of him, and he backs it up on the field, his style of play. They call him the Will Anderson Jr. of the Alabama offense. And he said he would love to play with Will Anderson again. And he did meet with the Texans. He loved his meeting with them. It's interesting to kind of get this takeaway. He would like to be a Texan.
I was going to ask you, so you look at where they are currently right now in the first round, is that even an option, do you think?
We've heard him mocked to higher than them at Seattle. So they would need to move up to get him. A lineman that they did meet with that will probably be there at 25 is the North Dakota State lineman, Gray Zabel. And he had a good Senior Bowl. That's when he kind of set himself apart, that he's in the first-round conversation. So if they did go guard, this is a spot in this draft where it kind of meets up with their need.
Well, we'll talk more about it on Sports Sunday. Some local products there at the Combine, a couple specifically from Klein-Cain High School. How impressive was what Matthew Golden, the now Texas Longhorn, former U of H Cougar, what he turned in the 40. His Longhorn teammate Jaden Blue, pretty impressive as well.
Yeah, Matt Golden is in the conversation for the Texans at 25 overall. What if they go wide receiver? What if they don't get enough at the receiver position in free agency? And he was 4.29. He's got special teams ability. He ran back a couple of kickoffs for the Cougs. And then he was just as advertised for the Longhorns. He was a big factor as he moved up in competition. I think Klein-Cain, man, they must have had some kind of 4x1 team with these guys because it was 4.38, 4.29 for Golden, but 4.38 for Jaden Blue. And he's a nice change of pace back. So the Longhorns, very fast, but nobody beat Xavier Worthy's record. Isaiah Bond said he was going to do it, and he didn't even come close. He was still fast. He was 4.39. That's great too, but not in the category of Xavier Worthy. 4.21. I don't think anybody's going to beat that.
Pretty impressive. I couldn't keep up with that guy.
No way.
Hey, real quick before we wrap it up, contingency plans for let's say Nick Caserio as they approach free agency coming up. How they want to attack that?
Right, they're going to have some change at the defensive tackle position, and that's something that kind of flew under the radar a little bit because they're so good on the defensive line. But I'm thinking Mario Edwards Jr. and Felipe Fadakasi are not going to be on the roster, so they got to fill those spots next to Tim Settle Jr., and that could mean a Sheldon Rankins. That could mean the Texans having to wait till the draft. They looked at a lot of the big defensive tackles. There's a bunch of those too. When you think about what's going to happen, it's going to be change in the defensive line and the offensive line, but it's going to be on both sides of the trenches, which is where they want to build. They brought up the Eagles. That's a good example how the Super Bowl champs built their team. The Texans want to build it from the inside out.
All right, good stuff. We got much more to add on Sports Sunday. This is your show right here, man.
I'm excited. I can't wait. We got the Combine. We've got free agency coming up. And then we got the NFL draft. So this is the fun part. This is the roster building.
Yep.
This is how you fortify your team. And right now, when we're talking about September, October, November, December, and the playoffs, this is when it's decided, really.